Well, I'm positive. You're not quite so much, are you?
No.
So I think we could nick a 2-0 today.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, but positive.
What have you made of things in recent weeks? Obviously, started the season very well, but since those injuries, it seems to have gone a little bit downhill. Do you feel like it's just a blip, or you said you're obviously feeling a bit more negative?
Not as good because the injuries are going to go for longer. So
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah. Is there any worry for you sort of on that front?
I think we've always said sort of you have to give it sort of 10, 11 games, which will take us to the second international break, just to sort of see where we are and see who the players are going to be in the league this year. But I think if we can get back from that international break and not get any more injuries, then we hopefully will find our feet and things. And I think Barnes will be back. I think it was November they forecast. So fingers crossed him. And then we miss Sarge massively, don't we?
Yeah.
He's a really big miss. His work ethic is just so good. So yeah.
And Birmingham are in quite poor form as well. Do you think that's the sort of game Norwich needed? It's sort of two sides with no momentum, so it feels like an opportunity really to get back on.
Yeah, we were sort of talking about that on the way in, weren't we, this morning, and saying how Birmingham have been very similar to us, had a really good start and are now starting to ebb away a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think it's hopefully exactly the sort of game we need. If we win it, if we lose it, then I'm hoping it doesn't get too toxic in there too quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. I'm like I say, I'm a lot more positive about it. I'm thinking this is the sort of game we could do with today.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you said 2-0. Can I get a score prediction from you?
3-1 Birmingham.
Wow.
To be honest, not confident.
Yeah.
I think defensively we are weak. We are missing Sargent and Barnes, and I don't think Ida's good enough.
Yeah.
And the Korean guy, not had enough time.
No.
So I am not looking forward to the game, if I'm honest.
So do you feel like the start of the season was maybe a little bit of a flash in the pan, or do you think once those injuries?
No, I think well, not so much a flash in the pan. I think the injuries have really hurt us. We've not got the depth.
Yeah.
Without Sargent, without Barnes, there's a lack of depth up front. And as for the back four, well, he keeps playing Gibson, and I don't rate Gibson at all. The guy is an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah. So what would you like to see, sort of from the lineup and from the setup today, then?
The only changes, I think, I would want to see probably Bath replacing Gibson.
Yeah.
And that's really maybe Hernandez on the wing with Pacheco on the other side.
Yeah.
But other than that, the middle of the park's been fine.
Yeah.
It's just up front. We're stuck with Ida and the guy that's not up to speed yet.
Yeah. And given the injuries, do you think Norwich will be sort of out of the playoff race by the time those players come back, or do you think that's still an achievable
I think it's
goal?
not achievable, to be honest with you. I just think as long as the other midfielders chip in with goals and maybe we are more solid defensively, I think we'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But it's always the worry that we might implode, which we are good at.
Can I get a score prediction for today's game?
I'm going to say 2-1 to us
Okay.
because I'm always the optimist.
Yeah, is that more heart than head, maybe?
It is more heart than head.
Yeah.
I just, I want to say 2-1 heart. If I'm going to go head, I'm probably thinking 1-1.
Okay.
Oh, hopefully they'll get us nice 3 points. See how we get on. Hopefully a bit of an improvement from the other day.
Yeah.
They weren't very. Personal opinion, weren't very good.
Yeah.
See how they get.
What have you made of the last sort of few weeks? Obviously they started very well, but then those injuries seem to have derailed them a little bit.
Yeah, the injuries have impacted, but hopefully they can, well, whoever they put in can improve. See how we get on.
Which players are you excited to see today?
Like Rowe, good player. I liked him a couple of years ago when he first came on and that, and I think he's improved. Going to be a star of the mate. He is a star, and he'll go a long way. Gunn's good in goal, very good. Like the new back line. Just one improvement I think could be made in there, but I think we'll be all right. But just hopefully they get a striker.
Can I get a score prediction for today's game?
I'd like to see 2-0, but if we get a draw, we get a draw, don't we?
No, I thought Norwich played well today. Bit of a slow start. As the game went on, they seemed to grow into the game. Obviously, a lot of confidence had to be made from after last week's performance. But I think, as the game went on, they they obviously progressed with confidence and whatever. Once they got the first goal, there was no looking back really.
And which performances were you sort of pleased with? Who do you think played the best for Norwich today?
As a team, overall, I thought the whole team played well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say there was no sort of outstanding. Like, it was nice to see Ida played well at home. I thought overall everybody had a good game, you know.
Yeah, and it was nice to see Norwich sort of quite comfortable, wasn't it? I wasn't personally worried at any point that they were going to lose the lead. Were you worried at any point, or did you feel quite confident?
I think getting over the first 20 minutes was always, the worrying point. Let's get over the first 20 minutes after the result from last week. But going forward after that, they did grow in confidence. Like I said, getting that first goal was really important, I thought, today.
Yeah, and now you've sort of seen that performance, how do you feel about Norwich more generally? Has it made you feel more positive than maybe you were going into the game?
I think I was always positive before last week's performance, and I think hopefully that was now just a one-off.
Yeah.
And we can move forward and get some good results going forward and catch them boys up down the road.
We've got Bradley Hills back at centre back, mate. That's what we want, isn't it? Get him back from Accrington.
And that's 4 wins out of 5, I think, at home this season. Do you think it's sort of important that Norwich have a good record here, and that's such a sort of
well, definitely always. I mean, when you're the home team, you want to make that a fortress as much as you can at home and get build a confidence and results going forward. It's always a plus point. And like you say, the more points you can get at home and grab a point away from home every week is always good confidence going forward for the team.
Big fans of Brad Hills, are you?
Yeah, we know him quite well. As a youngster, we knew Bradley Hills quite well.
Okay.
So we know the family quite well. So yeah, I hope he's doing well at Accrington, as I hear, and hopefully one day he'll come back and play for the Canaries again.
Cheers, mate. Really.
It was a really good game. I think first half it was a bit shaky, but second half we turned up and we came up wanting to win.
Yeah.
We didn't see that against Plymouth.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of desire there, a lot more kind of passing that was going on and kind of urgency about the game. So and we created some decent chances. I don't think we ever looked like we were going to concede either.
Yeah. What did you make of it?
Good overall performance.
Yeah. Who sort of impressed you out there today, especially?
Giannoulis.
Yeah, Giannoulis before was good. Sarah obviously and Johnny Rowe, but yeah, Giannoulis was our man of the match.
Yeah. You mentioned sort of the first half and how maybe there was a bit of an improvement in the second half. Were you nervous at any point about the result, or did it feel like a Norwich win for most
It
of
felt pretty comfortable, to be honest. I think it was slow in the first half, but I don't think Birmingham were pressing us, so there was no kind of urgency from them. But I think come the second half, we really sort of stepped it up.
Yeah. And now you've seen that performance, how do you feel about Norwich's prospects sort of more generally? Are you feeling a bit more positive than you were going into
definitely. Hopefully, last weekend was just a blip, and we can just push on from this.
Yeah. And it feels like Carrow Road is becoming a bit of a fortress now, doesn't it? I think 4 wins out of 5 in the league, so a real good place to come at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. And the fans, everyone's just like completely behind the team as well, so the atmosphere is brilliant.
I mean, it was an interesting game, to be honest. I mean, at times we kind of rode our luck a little bit, I would have said, just because of the amount of chances Birmingham had.
Yeah.
I mean, we did see it out quite well, I think.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. So, I mean, I'm just being too honest now. Gibson and Duffy don't feel real confidence.
Yeah.
They still look very nervous.
Yeah.
But I mean, Johnny Rowe getting a goal, that's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, first half he looked a little bit kind of out of position, didn't really look comfortable, but second half when you put him on the wing he looked back to his normal self, which is good. So upwards and onwards.
Yeah. Were there any other performances aside from Rowe that sort of impressed you today?
I mean, Sarah obviously, goal. The irritating thing is that I think he has to play further forwards.
Yeah.
Like when he plays deep, he's just wasting that opportunity. Because I feel like he needs that. When he's deeper, he's given too much defensive responsibility. He needs to be given freedom, and I think that will help Ida as well. I mean, Ida first half played all right.
Yeah.
Obviously, wasn't that, but he didn't really have that much support.
Yeah.
And I feel like with Sarah further forward, it gives him the opportunity to play.
Yeah.
So I think obviously Sarah's brilliant, but I really want to see him further forward, which I think Wagner has said in the past. Doesn't believe. But so I'm not a football coach, so I don't know.
And you mentioned feeling a bit nervous. Was that sort of more in the first half? It felt to me like they improved a little bit in the second. Obviously scored the 2 goals, but just generally as well.
They did, but even when 2-0, it's like there's kind of sat back a bit, kind of asking for pressure, which doesn't. It really felt there was a 10-minute spell. I was talking to the guy I was with, and we were saying like there was a 10-minute spell where we got the goals and we looked really confident. We could go on and get 3-4, look really attacking. But then there was a point where they just sat back, and We're just asking pressure. It's made it really uncomfortable then, because they had a couple of chances. I mean, was it Miyoshi hit the bar?
Hit the bar,
which,
yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it was a brilliant chance. But like, it's things like that. If they scored that, I think it'd been very, very nervous at the end. So
I think it's 4 from 5 at Carrow Road this season in the Championship. Do you think it's becoming a bit of a fortress now? It seems like a pretty good place to
yeah, I mean, compared to last season, I can't remember the exact form from last season, but form's like completely turned around now, which is good. So I remember last season, I think our away form was pretty decent, but home
was terrible. Yeah.
So no, it's good now that it's kind of. I think there's a bit of a. There's a lot more positivity now, which is good. And I mean, even today, where even first half was a bit kind of like you say, it was a bit nervy. I think it feels there's a lot more. Yeah, it's a lot more positive, and there's I think a lot more trust in the players that okay, we're struggling a little bit, but we will see it out. Which
Can
is
Norwich
good.
push for playoffs?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think automatics is beyond us, but I think playoffs is definitely a shout. I think it's just got to, I think we've got to get Sargent back, or at least get Hwang scoring. We've got something. Yeah, that's the main thing. So.